Mm. Mm. Okay. On quick movie stuff. TNA review. TNA review. Weird sometimes, I guess. Goes together. Just like it. Um, but we had TNA tonight. 624. And you're now in the mix with that young go hard. DJ B. Let me quit playing. Let's get into it. You don't know where you are. You are a part of the only podcast that is always, and I mean, and it's so. Let's get it going. Show. Started out with EC3 kind of teasing his opponent for Kurt Angle. I kind of like how this started. I kind of like how this started. You know, it was really a good, an interesting start. You know, instead of getting that first promo that we always get all the time, you know, it seemed like wrestling companies today. It was kind of cool to kind of get a promo from another area, I guess you could say, from the backstage area. You know, he says he's chosen a guy with a legacy. You know, he wishes Kurt Angle good luck, sarcastically, of course. Um, then we had a video package basically hyping EC3 and how dominant he's kind of been in his run and the tag team series. So any thoughts on any of those two things?
No.
All right then. No thoughts, nothing. All right then. Any guesses to who it's gonna be? Probably gonna be like me.
I mean, obviously it's gonna be like Shark Boy or like Doink the Clown. You know, I don't know. It's gonna be somebody epic like that. You know, the Gobbledygooker. You know, because the Gobbledygooker jumped from WWE to TNA. If you didn't know, look it up. It happened. Didn't really happen. I wish it did. That'd be awesome.
I mean, my prediction would be if I was going off the wall, be like Chucky from the scary movie. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. All right. So next we get in Kurt Angle promo. You know, he kind of wants to know who his mystery opponent is, and he wants to know it right now. And EC3 comes out. He says, you know, it only takes one to defeat you. You know, the one. You know, he says you're only the best for a night. And you know, Angle is like, why don't you just shut your mouth, sonny boy? I mean, he didn't say that. Angle doesn't talk like that. But in my version of Kurt Angle, that's what he said. He wants him to shut his mouth and get on with it, basically. And EC3 talks about he's beaten everybody. Everybody. So he's beaten everybody. If you didn't know, he's undefeated, by the way. If you didn't know, just tell him in the microphone here. And then, you know, is that, you know, you're not really obsessed with getting better or obsessed with the title. You're obsessed with yourself. He says he's gonna end his defeated streak, and I'm gonna make you tap out. Says Angle. EC3 kind of getting intense. You know, talking about how I'm never gonna tap, which kind of reminded me of EY right there. You know, I'm never gonna quit. And he said I'm never gonna tap, and the opponent I picked won't tap either. So any thoughts on the Kurt Angle promo? Just basically, I, I think it's funny that I said there was no like big promo at the beginning of the show, and then I forgot there was a nice promo at the beginning of the show. Anyway, I'm act like I didn't forget that, and my mind didn't just go away for a second there, like Luke Harper, you know. But anyway, any thoughts on the promo there?
You know, he hasn't beat everybody. He hasn't beaten my boy, you know, Sami Zayn. or my boy Finn Balor. Just those are two guys he hasn't beaten and probably never will. Just saying. Um, I nothing really to say about this. I was surprised with who the opponent was, but I'll get to that in a minute when we find out who it is.
Alrighty. I think that's a call to motion there to continue on. So that's what we'll do. We have an X Division title match, and I was excited about it. Um, do you want to take the X Division title match, or there was one more match I thought you really liked, and I don't remember what it was. That may have been the match, the X Division title match. Do you want to take the X Division title match?
Yeah. No. So we did indeed have an X Division title match, and do you know who was in this X Division title match? Do you know? My boy Grado, the next X Division champion. It's gonna happen. Versus some loser low key and some Tiger wannabe Tigre Uno, whatever. Who cares about them? Um, no, I came into this match, really excited. Um, when I was a little bit upset though when my boy Grado was eliminated. At first I didn't realize it was an elimination. I thought it was just a triple threat match. But then when he got eliminated, I was 80% sure they were just gonna give Low Key the belt. I was like, I almost didn't want to watch the rest of the match because I was pretty sure he was gonna win. But I was completely just out of left field surprised when Tigre Uno won. Because we love Tigre Uno, but I feel like he's still, just one of those guys they use in matches when they don't know who else to put in a match. They don't. I don't feel like they really put too much effort into him, as much as somebody like obviously Low Key, some other X Division champions that they've had. But maybe they're trying to push up new guys. Considering the next video that we do, we'll talk about why that is. But anyway, I was excited, either way that we got a new X Division champion, not just a new X Division champion, but somebody who hasn't been X Division champion before. Which, if you watch any of our videos, whether it be TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor, I like new champions, guys who haven't had the belt before, guys that aren't like, John Cena or Randy Orton, who have had the title like 15 times. I like the new guys. I like the new guys coming up, getting a chance at the title. Because it gets them in the main event spot, and it gets new fresh faces. So I was excited. I was upset that obviously that my boy Grado, they're waiting for the world heavyweight title. They're just gonna push him right to the world heavyweight title. That's all that is. It's all that is. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with Tigre Uno with the title.
Definitely. I'm definitely excited to see what they're going to do with him. I was really excited going in this match. I thought it was going to be good, and I also expected Grado to win. I just thought the fans were really getting behind him. It took him a second or two, but it felt like the fans were really starting to get behind him. But Tigre Uno's been there for a second, so I understand them trying to give him the title for, kind of he's been there for a while. Not necessarily seniority or anything like that, but just more so, he's kind of been there for a while, hasn't been doing as much as he probably wants to. So, I kind of like this though. It was a pretty good match. Definitely, I thought it was a good match. We got you know, Uno tries to pick up Grado and can't do it. I kind of wish, I had a little issue with this because I kind of wish that, Uno would have had his moment there and picked up Grado. Kind of, even if it would have been like a nice little quick, kind of. I think it was either an exploder or a T-bone, which I think are essentially the same thing. But he if he would have had that moment, it would have been like a really cool moment to see a small guy like that pick up a bigger guy. I just thought it would have been a cool thing. You know, Tigre Uno has really nice transitions into his moves from move to move. I really see that he does that really well. I think him and Manic in like a one-on-one match would be like my favorite match ever. Book that TNA because both of them with their ability to go from move to move as fluid as they do. I've seen Tigre Uno really improve. Um, with his the things that he's been doing. Definitely, a fan of that catching electric chair facebuster that happened in this match. Really like that. Uno does end up winning though, with the not even I don't even think it was a saber tooth splash. I think it was just a corkscrew, a split leg corkscrew, which was pretty nice. It was a nice change to see him do something other than the saber tooth, and actually get the win too. So it brings a little bit of validity to the move. Um, then after the match, Tigre Uno does say a lot of things in Spanish that I didn't catch. So I just wanted to let y'all know, if any Spanish native speakers or Spanish speakers at all, feel free to let me know. And Casey, I got one more point. They had a new X Division title tonight. It was green, so that was kind of cool. I guess a kind of little bit of a change. Um, so yeah, what was your tidbit there?
Yeah, I noticed that, and I don't know if I like it. It was weird. But you were saying you actually wanted to see Tigre Uno pick up Grado. I can see both sides of that. Yeah, you kind of want to see the little guy kind of get that big moment, but at that point they were trying, and I like how they're still doing this in Grado's matches where they're incorporating humor in there while keeping him serious. They're keeping him as a serious competitor, but because Tigre Uno was trying and he couldn't do it, and Grado was like, okay, try again, one more time. So I kind of like that they do that. It makes it a little bit comedy without making it a joke of a match. There's still a little bit of comedy in there while keeping the match more serious too. So I kind of like that.
Agreed. Um, but next we got a little JB kind of trying to get his tidbit of information out for the fans here, and who interrupts him but the man, not Jesse Goddard. I'm not talking about Jesse, not right now, not yet. But Bram. Bram interrupts him and he says he's calling out any past TNA superstar. He's battled Joseph Park, he's battled Crimson. He doesn't care. He doesn't care who it is. He hates everyone. He's waiting, and he doesn't care, obviously. Um, and then as he leaves, we get this big mitt, kind of on the shoulder of JB here, and we don't get to see who it is. We just kind of have to let our imagination run wild here. I thought that was kind of a cool moment. I knew who it was because I had seen this part, or seen that part beforehand, but definitely I like that, kind of keeping that element of surprise in there, giving you a little clue without telling you the whole thing. I kind of like that. Um, any thoughts on Bram and JB's moment here?
Yeah, I have a couple little thoughts here. Um, Bram says he hates everybody. Everyone. Does that even include his wife? Because he is married to Charlotte, so it's like, do you hate your wife too? Speaking of his wife, every time I see Charlotte on NXT, I can't help but think, wow, your husband's being a dick over in TNA. You need to tell him to stop it. He's being an asshole to cameramen. He is a not nice man. Um, but no, I actually do wonder how that works out, them being married and, him working TNA and her working in WWE. Like, obviously, she has a little bit of an upper hand because she is Ric Flair's daughter. So, but I always wonder how that works out. Like, it's like, working for rival companies, even though WWE doesn't really see TNA as a rival yet. And I don't know if they ever will. But I just always wonder that, whenever I see her or him.
Yeah, I, I definitely agree. I actually forgot about that. So that's kind of cool. I forgot they were married, right? That's a cool thing though. I thought about that too. While you were saying it, obviously, because I hadn't thought about it in a second. But next we get Terrence Terrell in the dollhouse. She talks about how disappointed. I'm disappointed in you talking to her dolls here. She says, now I have to defend my title against them tonight. And I think it was Jay. No, it was Marty who said, I'm gonna grab her arm and beat her like she's stupid with it. And she said that. Um, Actually, it was Marty who said that, and then she said that Jay was gonna do something else. But I just thought the grabbing her arm and beating her like she's stupid was a pretty nice thing there. Not really nice, not literally nice, but like I thought it was a unique thing to say. Um, any thoughts on Terrell and the Dollhouse? I really love these segments personally. Like I just really love that Dollhouse segment.
I love the dollhouse. I still do, but there's sometimes when they say stuff like that, and you're like, "What? You're gonna beat her with her arm like she's what?" Like, was that just off the top of her head, or did someone tell her to say? Like, I don't understand. Who would think of that? I don't know. But it was funny. Kind of showing a little bit of almost dissension in the dollhouse, but then they go back to like being best friends, and it's weird, but I like it. Unfortunately, the dollhouse won't be. Anyway, we'll get into that in the next video.
Alrighty, so next we get Angelina Love versus Velvet Sky, a match I was personally really excited for. I just wanted to. I for some reason actually really like this feud. I like the new Velvet Sky. I like that kind of creepy but dark but quiet demeanor, but aggressive demeanor that she's had. Um, Angelina Love comes out, and every time Angelina Love talks, I write almost everything down. Not really. I just like doing her impression. Uh, comes out, she says, "Oh, Velvet, you've got to beat me. I think we all know that's not gonna happen." I just love her doing her impression, especially when she screams. She screamed some point at this time in this promo, but I don't remember where it was, so I can't do it. So I'll just make up something. Oh, Velvet! I just make up a scream somewhere for you guys. Just the impressionist genius of me. But Love, slaps Velvet, but then she gets taken down because Velvet, she ain't having that. This is not part of her new thing. She kind of runs Love from corner to corner, and then they get to the outside. She uses everything she can to damage Love here. Steel steps, aprons, whatever's there, she's gonna use it. Um, Love is getting a bit more aggressive though to try to get back into the match here. But Velvet pulls Love from the turnbuckle. Nice pair of kicks by Velvet. The arm trap facebuster by Love for two. Then we get the Sky Stunner. That's what I'm calling it personally. Sky Stunner for the win by Velvet Sky. I thought this match was pretty not bad. I thought it was an okay match. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life, but I didn't think it was horrible either. I thought it was pretty good, and you would think that they could probably put on really good matches considering they've been working together forever, not ever, but a long time. But definitely, I'm kind of a fan of this feud for some reason. I don't know. Um, Velvet's been gone for a while. We don't have that many knockouts to feud with right now, anyway. And we're getting getting kind of thin here at TNA. I don't need y'all to sign somebody else. Sign me, put me in a wig. I got you. I'll lose every time. I got you, TNA. I'll do it. In case you don't hate right now, I'll take one for the team. This is a good idea, actually. I would take all the pin covers. I will, you know, Brooke can do whatever she wants to me. And anyway, any thoughts on Joey's guy? Angelina Love TNA.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Brooke pinning me for like the 30 count. But anyway, um, no, I went into this match, trying to be objective and being like, okay, maybe they'll do a good match. But this is a perfect example of a match where the stipulation ruins the outcome. The stipulation was if Velvet Sky won, she got her job back. If she lost, she was out. So obviously, TNA is not going to, pay her to be there for one show. They're not just going to pay her for one night. So obviously, she's going to win. She's getting her job back. It just didn't make sense to me. Like, it completely ruined the whole match because I was like, well, I know Velvet Sky is going to win. So why even get into this match if I already know who's going to win? It's like watching a John Cena match. You already know who's going to win. I'm done.
Of course, of course, John Cena like ends the entire conversation there. But I actually didn't catch that. I don't know. When I was watching this, I couldn't hear everything, so I didn't realize that that was a stipulation. Um, but yeah, that does make it very predictable. Any type of lose your job or something like that, it's kind of one of those things. And unless it's like for both people, like if it's job versus job, depending on who it is, it can work out. Um, but next we got the Dirty Heels, and they're having a little interview here. And they say Full Metal Mayhem. You know, I I never learned about tables, ladders, and chairs in my training. Hammer locks on ladders, headlocks on chairs. I thought that was kind of a cool thing for them to kind of go back to their wrestling school days, I guess you could say. I just thought that was kind of cool, even though it was their idea, or it was the Wolves' idea to do this. But I thought it was a cool little interview here. I like the sarcasm by the Dirty Heels. Um, definitely interesting. Any thoughts on the Dirty Heels talking?
Well, they were talking. And that's all I have to say.
It's usually how an interview goes. You gotta at least say some words. Um, every once in a while. Uh, but next we get MVP, and he's on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, so we got to fix this up." BDC struggling right now. Definitely, definitely need some backup, but we got to cover because you stand up to get beat down and beat down clan and other phrase from the beat down clan number 3. I'll see you guys later. No, I don't. We don't know what he said. I was just letting you guys on my insight from what I figured out from my lip reading abilities that I don't have. But definitely, definitely interesting here. The cameraman, interviewer number 3, he says, what's up with the BDC? And MVP says, anyone that has stood in front of us has laid down in front of us. He says a couple other things, and then he says the beatdown clan is stronger than ever. Be warned. I like that little tease he put in there that something interesting is going to happen tonight. So I thought that was kind of cool. Um, Definitely an interesting thing to see where the BDC is going to go from here. They have a match with the Rising next week that's going to get set up later on in the show. So that's kind of cool. Any thoughts on MVP? And letting them know what's going on. Hello, Casey. You got any thoughts? Casey? Casey? Casey?
If you give me a second, just getting ready to give you my thoughts, and then you're all on the phone. But anyway, these TNA cameramen, they are really rude. You can't even have a phone conversation in private without these guys coming up to you, asking about your business. Like, what if he was talking to his grandma? What if, you know, just rude. I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter to TNA. That's it.
I'm gonna have a BF. What's that? If you get that, I love you forever. I already love you, but I love you slightly more. If you got that white chicks reference there, but next we get the Wolves versus the Dirty Ones, and I ain't talking about the front of the toe. Anyway, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna scrap that. Don't look at me like that, no, buddy. The dirty heels. Okay, you want to take this match since I can't get the names right.
The dirty ankles? What? Dirty toes? What? Um, I I didn't really write too much about this match. As I expected, it was an awesome match, and we definitely need more matches. This best of 5 is not enough. It needs to be at least best of 78. Just saying, TNA, come on, let's get it going. But I just have, and I've always had this issue with Full Metal Mayhem matches. First of all, they're basically a TLC ripoff. That's exactly what they are. Secondly, it's not Full Metal Mayhem. Tables are at least 70% wood. That is not Full Metal. That I call shenanigans. Okay, like 60%. I don't know. I don't know the math. Like, because it's not 50%. There's more wood than metal on a table. Unless it's not real wood, unless it's like a laminate. And then it might not even be wood. It might be like a plastic. I don't know. I don't know. But that's really all I got. It's a really good match. I want more and more and more and more, and maybe an Ultimate X match. Because where are Ultimate X matches? I keep saying this, and they keep not giving me what I want. So, all right.
All right. Well, the next match in this series is going to be very interesting, and it's a match you really like. No, it's not Ultimate X. I'll spoil you on that one. It's not an Ultimate X, but you will like. You will be excited for it. I'll let you hear about it later. Uh, excuse me. Definitely, I was definitely excited for this match. I knew it was going to be really good, and it was. It definitely was. The heels cracked me up when they sat on the chairs while doing the headlock. I just thought that was really typical sarcastic, dirty heels there. I don't know why. I just cracked up a lot when I saw that. Um, you know, I wish we got a shot near the end where Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards were going for the I don't know even know what they call it, but the power bomb backstabber combination. But the chair, not the chair, trash can was on the head of I think it was Rude. I wish they would have hit that because I was excited for anything with that trash can on his head. They could have did anything. They could have just power bombed him, and I would have been happy. I just thought that was kind of cool because you don't see a lot of stuff with the trash cans on head. In TNA or WWE, I don't feel like definitely not WWE. More so in TNA either. At least they tease it, I guess. Um, we got a I almost thought the money was coming out in this match, as we got the double coast to coast by the Wolves. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought Shane was gonna come out and start dancing or something like that. I just thought that was pretty cool. Definitely a lot of good stuff in this match. Um, it was really good, like all Full Metal Mayhem matches, and I guess they got to do something with the name. Right? Just because they can't call it a TLC match because that's probably something that's like trademarked by WWE that if you use you will immediately die for using it. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if that's maybe something they have trademarked that really no one else can use because no one uses the term TLC or tables, ladders, and chairs matches anyway. So I don't know. I guess you could say that though. But definitely, this was a really good match. I definitely enjoyed it. Um, I'm kind of glad this wasn't the last match of the series, just because it would have been kind of the same as the other series. So, definitely good match.
You reminded me of something there. You can't even put a trash can on somebody's head in the WWE video games anymore. You just can't do it. I've tried. You can't do it. You used to be able to. You can't do it anymore. At least I don't think so. I'm gonna have to try that later. Also, what if Shane did jump to TNA, or what if he bought TNA? That would basically be WWE buying their competition again. But I don't know. I miss Shane McMahon, and you reminded me of Shane McMahon, and I miss him. I miss him so much.
Shout out to Rabid Video, Rabbit Jones, my fault, Rabbit Jones for sharing this video. I appreciate it. I really do, cause the love, it's real. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I do, really do. You don't even understand. You don't even get it. But let's get to the next match on this one.
And whoever he shared it with, we love you. Unless you're like not watching it, because then why did he share it if you ain't gonna watch it? What up with that? But anyway,
What's up with that? Freaking hurricane. Yes, that was great. Next, we get a Matt Hardy interview. And he says, he starts talking a little bit about how he's going to beat Kurt Angle and singles and all this stuff. But he gets to a point where he says, I think EC3 is a piece of EC3 says a piece of. Says, if you want a shot at me, um, you can come kiss the ring. And he like held his hand out like that. I was really confused. Um, on what he meant. I don't know if TNA is bringing the Ring of Honor component of the championship rings or something. I don't know. I thought he was about to hit the Beyonce on him. I thought he was about to do it. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was about to. Thought he was gonna have Beyonce and Jay-Z up in TNA. You know, I mean, personally, I thought that was coming. I knew it was about one person at least, an MVP that thought it was coming too. I thought his new member of the BDC or something. I didn't, that's what I thought. I don't know about you. Jay-Z, Beyonce, put a ring on it. Anyway. If I get carried away here, next we get a wait. What are they doing here? Moment by the commentary team. And it happened to be Jeff and Karen Jarrett. Why they didn't play Jeff Jarrett's music at the beginning of this, I don't know. It kind of confused me because it was kind of awkward, I guess you could say, with them just kind of walking out to nothing. But you know, Jeff Jarrett says he's gonna be basically setting the Mountain match on Sunday. He said it and he almost didn't reply. He didn't go out the way he wanted to. He kind of recalls some of his old memories with AJ and Joe and all the people that are gone. I don't know why he had to mention them so we can to remind us as fans that they're gone. But he says you might. He said that I think it was Toby Keith told him you might be as good. You might not be as good as you want, but once you're as good as you will ever be. Oh, you're as good as you ever were. Sorry, I don't know. Reading comprehension and stuff. Not getting it today. My fault. I misread my article. Yes.
they're not gone. They're just in a better place. You have to remember, they are. They're in Ring of Honor. Better. Anyway, bad joke that didn't. Yeah. This is how this show is gonna be. Just people are just gonna have to get used to it. Bad jokes, bad puns, us imagining Brooke Tessmacher, pinning us for like a 76 count. What?
Just can't. I just can't. Do you have anything else to say before I continue to move on?
About the Jeff and Karen Jarrett segment.
Can I say this quote one more time?
Oh, you can. You can try it again.
Okay. Toby told him. You let him know. He says, you might not be as good as you once were, but once you're as good as you ever were.
Yeah, he got it. I don't know. I was kind of upset with this segment a little bit because somebody over there got me excited about, Jeff Jarrett possibly, buying TNA, which could still happen. He could, take over to TNA and, possibly merge TNA and Global Force, which would be awesome. But I don't understand the logic in this match. I mean, yeah, he didn't leave the way he wanted to, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't, what does that do for TNA? There's no title on the line. There's no stipulation or anything like that. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. In a storyline wise, it doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, I want to see the match because I want to see him, wrestle again because he doesn't even wrestle for his own promotion. So that's kind of cool. But it just doesn't make sense to me, really.
Yeah, if you don't know, there's been reports pretty much everywhere that there may be a TNA GFW merger. And I feel like personally, it's got to be more than just this one match thing. I just don't see it going one match. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, he wins, and he just leaves. Why? It wouldn't make any sense. Crazier things have happened, but I think it's gotta mean something, right? TNA losing a ton of talent recently, so it's gotta mean something. You would think. I hope it means something. Um, Plus he's a mine, but we'll talk about that in the next TNA video when we talk more in detail about what's been going on with them. Next.
One thing before we move on from that, I did just Google TNA and GFW. First two things that came up said TNA rumors, is there an invasion angle really coming with Global Force Wrestling? The other one says TNA wrestlers leaving for GFW after Sunday Slammiversary pay-per-view. So I don't know, maybe they are doing like an invasion. That would be pretty cool. Angle, or maybe the people that are leaving are going to GFW. I don't know. Well, we'll have to see what happens. I still have to somehow watch Slammiversary because stupid websites and Cody and stupid
poor job that I have. It doesn't pay me enough to buy the pay-per-view.
Stupid $30 pay-per-view and
yeah, an invasion would be cool though. And I could see it happening, especially some of these TNA originals leaving, some of the recent ones. But we'll get into that in the future. But let's get to a TNA future. Or future TNA or brand. So we got a match between and it's the guy with the glove. And I ain't talking about Michael. Rest in peace, MJ. Boy. Talking about the man named Baby.
It's Vader time. Sorry, I had to. It was there. I'm gonna mute my mic now.
But yeah, we're talking about the man named Vader, which I was really excited about. Oh, excuse me. I was really got me all choked up, thinking about Vader. Vader's back, baby. Got me all choked up and stuff. But I was definitely excited because I've always really liked Vader. Um, from the little bit that I've really seen of him. Um, you know, I, I was excited. I had heard about this because I saw on like a lot of wrestling news sites, but I stay away from spoilers. And sometimes I just happen to run into them by being on those. So, but anyway, we got Vader and Bram. They're going at it. This is supposed to be a not non-sanction, but more so no DQ. Um, let's see if it played out that way. So Vader, actually kind of taking the fight to Bram, but Bram, I love the character that he pursues with the he kind of loves it. He kind of really just enjoys the pain. I like that. Kind of taking Bram down in a powerful way. Like that they showed Vader has a power edge over Bram. Um, Bram's back with the aggressive strikes, and he's then caught with the basically the mass of Vader, just everything just flying at him. Uh, Surprising move that we saw in this match was the Vader bomb, and not because Vader never does it. It was more because I thought Bram would reverse it and then win after that. But I'm glad I got to see the Vader bomb, and then Bram ends up getting his foot on the bottom rope to break up the 3 count. Um, Bram, rolls outside of the ring. He has something, under his belt here, and he has the turnbuckle hook, and he hits Vader with it, and Earl, being the guy that he is, just throws the match out because it was supposed to be no disqualification, but Earl just don't care. He's the greatest ever, so what do he want? I guess he can do what he wants. Throws the match out, unfortunately, and to save the day, my boy, add to the list. I've really actually really liked this guy since he was in TNA in 2012, I think it was. The blueprint, the DNA of TNA, if the nicknames haven't gotten to you yet, Matt Morgan. And he takes out Bram. I was really excited to see Matt Morgan again. More than anything, I love Matt Morgan, man. That guy. I don't know why. I've just always really liked Matt Morgan. Um, Definitely a big time fan, and was excited for the match at Slammiversary that they would have. That would soon to be announced later on. This match was not too bad. For Vader being the he is, still getting out there and trying his best at least. It was pretty good. I'm glad we got to see the Vader bomb because I wanted to see that. Thoughts on any thoughts on Vader time versus Bram?
Bringing back the blueprint, Matt Morgan, a former Tough Enough contestant, just around the time that Tough Enough is on. Coincidence? You decide. I don't know. No, I was,
So confused. What just happened? I don't know if he left or not, but usually in these situations, I'm the one that leaves. So I'm expecting to leave here in like 3 seconds. Then I'll come back. Um, but anyway, let's just act like I'm not leaving and let's continue. So, Matt Morgan does come back. Very exciting. I was very excited for it. Next, we had a match that I was a little bit more, a little bit excited for too. Seeing Chris Melendez again going up against EY. EY. I was very excited to see. Okay. I was very excited. Melendez in the ring again. Definitely a cool thing. So, we had EY versus Chris Melendez. This is based off of that feud, coming off of the Hardcore War, where EY took Melendez's leg off. EY really doesn't care about Melendez at all, or anyone for that matter. So he attacks him immediately. EY in complete control early. He tries to take the leg off again, but Melendez isn't having that. Not a second time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. think I mixed that up. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, that's what it was. But Melendez, back with the forearms, but it's caught with a power driver for the win. And I don't know. I don't know. I think I might have a valid point here. Comment if you agree with me. Do you think that Chris Melendez sells the power driver better than anyone you've seen sell it in a while? I just feel like he really does a good job of selling it. And I don't know if it's the leg or what. Especially tonight. Before I didn't really love the sales that was going on with him with the power driver, and that was just because of the leg, which is not anything he really controlled. But I think tonight it just looked really good. It looked like it was just a really devastating power driver. Next we get the Rising and the BDC. They're brawling. They're going at it. First thing I noticed was street clothes. You know, in a brawl that just kind of breaks out randomly, it makes a lot of sense to have street clothes on. It doesn't make any sense for them to get ready to come to the ring. One point is because the main event is next, so they're obviously not going to have a match tonight. I'm just glad that a majority of them did have street clothes on because I'm like, it makes so much sense. But the big thing here is that Hernandez comes out, and he hits a shoulder block on Drake and Micah. And then I think this was kind of a cool way to introduce Hernandez into this. Instead of kind of introducing him as a guy in the background, in the backstage area, they kind of had a brawl, and then the the splitting guy, the guy that kind of sways it a little bit, is Hernandez, and I thought that was really cool. I don't know if that's still a part of this faction anymore, or does that mean something else. I don't know if that means that Homicide's not a part of this faction anymore, or it means something that's kind of entirely different. Um, MVP says that this is Hernandez, the newest member of the BDC. He's very pleased to meet you, son. So definitely a cool. I'm pretty sure that next week they're gonna have a match, the Rising versus the BDC. I'm not sure what members of the BDC. The Rising and the BDC are gonna have a match that basically determines who's gonna break up. Honestly, to be honest with you, I would like to see both of these factions break up, so then we can see more individual stuff from each of them, or maybe get to the point where we see like a tag team from one of them and the other one go their separate ways, and to get that, you know, let TNA's roster, it's still going to be small, but at least let it kind of expand a little bit because people aren't in factions. Um, but anyway, we finally get to it, the match we've all been waiting for, the main event of the evening. So we got to the main event of the evening, which is very, very cool. Kurt Angle in any match is probably going to be at least pretty good, if not pretty great. So, we get Matt Hardy kind of taking control early. Then after that, we kind of get this just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth contest. We see that Hardy kind of we see him miss a moonsault here, and then he gets caught with Germans for two. It's Suplex City, as Brock Lesnar would say. Um, we get the angle slams reversing to the side effect for two. Then we get two more side effects after that. The relentless nature of Matt Hardy here for two. Puts the fade as Angle tries to throw anything he can at him. That ended up being for two as well. Angle, drags him down and locks in the ankle lock. Obviously, to win the match, to make sure that, and it's very, very good concept that I love that Angle uses. Um, it shows his like technical prowess too. Angle locks in the grapevine with it to kind of lock it in and kind of make it even harder for them to move. Love it because you can't roll through, you can't like roll around and kick out of it or anything. I like that. People have gotten out of it, but I just think it's a nice way to kind of lock it in. But that ends up winning the match for Kurt Angle. Obviously, obviously you would think Kurt Angle's going to win going into bell to bell next week. Obviously thinking he's got to win to keep his momentum going into EC3, unless EC3 screws him. But after the match, because he didn't, EC3 does come out and attack. Matt Hardy kind of fights odds because EC3 and Tyrus are out at this point, but he gets hit with the club by Tyrus. Then we get an angle slam on Tyrus, and then we get the ankle lock on EC3. EC3 does tap, but also it makes sense. the EC3 taps because he wants to get out of it as fast as possible. He doesn't really care about tonight. He'll try to fight on a little bit more later. I think that's kind of it's a nice heel thing that happens with a lot of heels, where you do tap, kind of giving the illusion that you would give up. But then again, if you think about it, you probably wouldn't, necessarily give up in a title match. So I think Casey's back here.
I'm
So
back.
that's good. I think he's back here, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna get your thoughts on whenever you're ready on the EY versus Chris Melendez, the Rising DDC Brawl, and Matt Hardy versus Kurt Angle for the main event of the evening.
Uh, well, I was still talking about the Vader match, because kids, when your battery gets low, you plug it in. Just saying. Because I didn't do that, and that's why I had some technical difficulties there. But anyway, I liked the Vader match. It was really, it was just really cool nostalgia, for the older fans. And I had forgot that he had been in TNA for a bit there. But anyway, I don't really have much to say about the Chris Melendez EY match. I still really don't understand this feud at all. Really, it's just confusing to me. And I liked the Matt Hardy Kurt Angle match. The only issue I had with it was it didn't make sense because they're both faces. So why would Matt Hardy, work with EY to go against Kurt Angle? That just doesn't make sense to me at all. So that just. But they were good matches. I didn't see anything wrong with the matches. It just the storylines didn't make sense to me. Yeah.
All right. So I think that'll do it for TNA for tonight. Couple of things coming your way very soon. You got TNA kind of state of TNA. Is TNA shutting down? Is TNA ready to go before us? Kind of talk about that. All the news we know about that. Secondly, Slammiversary. Hopefully tomorrow. Not really sure. Tomorrow, at the latest. Let's see. Obviously we got Tough Enough, NXT, things like that, Lucha Underground, stuff like that. So get excited. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's a good thing. You won't be sad. You won't be upset. You'll be happy. So we will see you guys in the near future. Casey, any last minute second thoughts? You want to tell the people bye?
Remember.
Is that how you tell people bye? That's me.
That's it. Bye.
Oh. See you guys.